Enter the serpent's mouth. I am her mouth. I am her veins. I am her venom. I am she. Enter the serpent's mouth. Enter and be transformed. This is Silvertree here. May this message find you well and whole. You are listening to the second episode and the second season of the Red Serpent Medicine. Today's title is Enter the Serpent's Mouth. Before we get into today's reading, I just want to say and share how grateful I am for all the listeners out there that have been leaving wonderful comments. And so I thank you for your support, and I will continue to do what it is I am meant to do, all guided through and from Source. Also, as always, please check out Ceka. She is the highly respected prophetess in the Southwest. She's based in Arizona. She has 2 YouTube channels, Zen Wombs and Zen Wombs 2. Both links are below. And please feel free to check out her message. She is powerful and she is knowledgeable, and she is a creator of solutions for the world's problems, our cultural and societal problems and spiritual problems. So she is a creator of solutions, and that I find incredibly inspiring. All right, a couple more things I'd like to share. Please forgive this late upload. I've had some personal things going on in my personal life and my personal space, so I could not upload this before Wednesday. And I continue to go through some personal things, so thank you for your flexibility and understanding. Let's get into the reading. The vision that I received in meditation for the energy reading of Enter the Serpent's Mouth is as follows. For the collective, I was in a dark space, so meaning there was shadow. It was a shadowy space, very little light, very dim light. This red serpent energy that is within me, my medicine, likes to move about and shift about in the shadows, okay? In the shadows of my consciousness. Serpent energy is like that, right? It hisses. It hisses in the night, in darkness. It tries to not be in the bask of sunlight, if you will. So this vision took place in a very shadowy, open place. And I'm shown the serpent's mouth, the red serpent's mouth. And she opens her mouth wide, incredibly wide. So wide that in reality, in this realm, it went beyond what is normal for a snake. Now, there are some snakes or serpents out there that have an incredibly huge, they can open their mouths like almost, I think, over 180 degrees, some of them. But this was abnormally large and wide. And so she opened her mouth. And her body, her mouth was pointing up. So she was receiving something. And whenever the feminine energy, all right, the mother energy is showing you something and opening, pay attention to that, because that means that we're receiving something powerful. And it's up to us to let go and enter. So in the vision, so her mouth is wide open, and then I see the world. I see the world, the whole globe, like the whole world, the globe, our world, and slowly descending into her mouth. And what was really odd about this vision that was a little different was that it was coated in something. It was coated in this lubrication. It was coated in this film. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if it was something to ease the passage, you know, to help us ease the collective down her throat, down her esophagus, to make the experience smooth, have a smooth experience for us all. I'm not sure, but it seemed like the globe was coated in this thickness, this thick mucus. But this thick mucus was transparent. You could see through it. I could still see the world's oceans and, you know, our globe's earth. I could still see, you know, that the clouds and everything, but it was just coated in this thick, mucusy membrane. And this membrane was oozing, you know, almost like oozing into the serpent's mouth. Now, I didn't get any sensual or sexual energy or vibes from this. It was like she was waiting to receive us. And all we have to do is let go during this transformation. So that was the vision. That was the vision. And now I'm going to get into the analysis of the words, the poetry, the channeled message, if you will. And I'll repeat this. Enter the serpent's mouth. I am her mouth. I am her fangs. I am her venom. I am she. Enter the serpent's mouth. Enter and be transformed. There's a lot in this. In general, as a collective, we fear serpents. We are taught to fear them. We are taught to fear them because they can cause death, right? They bite us, they sink their fangs into our blood, and they release venom into our bloodstream, and we then die. The body dies. It's consumed and overpowered by the venom. So we're raised everywhere. This is a global, worldwide, to fear this reptile, to fear this being. The programming that's been embedded in our subconscious mind, okay, tells us that the reptile is an evil, dark thing. You can find it in the Quran, you can find it in the Bible, you can find it in the Holy Scriptures. And then you'll find other different interpretations of what the serpent energy is all about. In Eastern traditions, the yoga, right? The yogis and the kundalini, right? The serpent that is within us, that is our spine, that energy that coils upward and shoots through our crown, right? And those of us that, you know, go down our own path, we create our own path to connect to source. We leave behind that old paradigm of serpents are evil, serpents are bad, serpents are dark, they should be avoided, you know, protect your life, right? That type of programming. And we go on the path of self-discovery. And many of us are familiar with the word Kundalini, the serpent, right? That it, and most of us, not most, but I would have to say many people have experienced such a powerful thing as a Kundalini awakening, or awakening of the Kundalini within our being, within our human. I have several years ago, and it was almost an overwhelming experience, to say the least. But I say this because with the serpent reptile energy, I want us to, yes, dive into the shadow a little bit. Okay? Now, the red serpent is my personal medicine that I choose, guided through source, with source, not without source, to share with you. And I find that the red serpent, and the serpent energy in general, I should say, is a teacher of mystery, a teacher of fear, a teacher of evil, a teacher of disgust, a teacher of lust. Not all that is dark is evil or bad. In my personal heart, I feel that avoiding the dark and avoiding the shadow causes dis-ease. It causes an imbalance within our psyche that manifests into our physical form, which causes illness, which kills the body. It perpetuates the illusion. And once one chooses to enter into the mouth of the serpent, you will know truth. You will know death. You will know endings of all endings. You will be transformed. There is no turning back. And so I am her mouth. What does this mean? The mouth is ever consuming, right? We consume. And even when we're speaking, when we think our own words, we're not. We're regurgitating what we've consumed. Okay? A lot of the time when we're speaking, okay, it's programs that we've consumed, thoughts we've consumed, energies we've consumed, that we've eaten. And I believe the energy I felt in this vision and in this poem is it's almost like the end of consumerism as we know it. All that we know in this reality, current reality, is to consume, not to create. We're told to not to create. We're told to not, or to avoid authenticity. We're tricked with TikTok, right? And all you see is everyone mimicking everyone else. Right? But we're told that that's a way to be creative. This is how we want you to create. I am her vangs. This kind of ties into vampirism, right? I'm not sure if I said that right, but vampirism. I am her vangs. I am the teeth that sink into the flesh. You see, we consume and consume and consume. We become vampires. What are we consuming, my dear human collective? The news? What? Truth? Fact? Rules? Regulations? Protocol? Procedures? Conspiracies, as they say? Human beings, we tend to become just as vampiric as our quote-unquote oppressors. We feed off of the illusion. because we know not what we do. When we choose to enter into the serpent's mouth, there will be no turning back. You will know truth, no matter how painful, how dark or evil it may be. You will know it. And those of you may become it. I am her venom. Now, venom. I could go into this and make it more current with the times, but I feel like if you tune into what I'm saying, you'll know what I'll be saying next about this venom. I am her venom. Most of us out there are avoiding the venom that they are sharing with the world. And for whatever belief systems, whether it's a political belief, whether it's a spiritual belief, whether it's a cultural, whatever our stands on, some of us choose to take the venom, some of us choose to avoid it. We have every right to choose one or the other. I always thought, and this is very, very important, probably one of the most important part of this message. When you say I am her venom, I think of Don Juan, right? Don Juan and Carlos Castaneda. Carlos Castaneda was, I think he's still alive. I'm reading his series of books. He was an apprentice of Don Juan, who was part of the Yaqui, if I'm pronouncing that right, the Yaqui native tribe. He was a native Indian of these lands. And Don Juan took him under his wing and taught him the ways of the plant medicine, or as Westerners like to call psychedelics. And the thing is, some of these medicines could really cause havoc on the human form, right? But it was up to Carlos being open enough to transform the quote-unquote venom or the poison in him and turn it into a cure for himself, causing immunity. Take that as you will. We are that powerful. We can't forget that. We mustn't forget that. And I feel that is why Source has me sharing this message with you at this very moment. Do not forget that. We can transmutate any and all energy. We are the DNA. We are the molecules. We are the neutrons and protons, electrons. We are all. However foul and dark or however loving and light. We are all of it. We are above and below nothing. No thing. We are all things. We are all that is. And once you can realize that you can alchemize the venom that you consume, is death real? Can fear be real to you? Alchemize the venom and you will set yourself free. Death is only a door to ocean. And fear is only the mind killer, a demon that has gone rampant that you cannot control. Alchemize the venom. I am she. Enter the serpent's mouth, enter and be transformed, dear human collective. Be transformed. We will be transformed regardless. Alchemize the venom. Refuse the venom. Take the venom. Do nothing with the venom. I mean, it's the choice is yours. Free will, free choice. But are we living in a free world? Are we living in a free reality? Don't fear what you can't understand. There's no reason for it. You know, I'll be honest. I'll be transparent. The first time the red serpent came to me, I was a little freaked out. I was, because earlier on my path, when you bump into, quote unquote, woke, conscious, enlightened, awakened beings. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, right? There's so many titles and names and all that other stuff. And they say, oh, the Lumerians, oh, the light beings, oh, it's just so glittery and so, this is where you find your truth and liberation. And all of that is true, but that's not the only way to get to the truth. And sometimes you have to face your fear. You see, the red serpent to me is a reflection of myself. It's nothing outside of me. It is just manifested in the form of an animal, in the form of a beautiful being of the serpent. And it's developing an inner understanding of what it means. This may take the rest of my life to understand all this. That is why I share this message with you. Because I'm teaching myself, I'm opening myself more and more to what is. So allow yourselves to be transformed, my brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers, and any child out there that's old enough to receive this message in such a way. Let's move on to the runes for the energy vortex. The energy vortex rune reading. We have the mind, heart, body. Our thinking, our feeling, and our vessel. What carries us through this physical realm. The first rune for mind, for the human collective. I pulled the rune of manifestation, or the full moon. Our thoughts as a collective are coming into fruition, meaning they are physically manifesting. Anything and everything you're thinking, feeling, desires, fears, all of it are taking shape right now. Is that something to worry about? I don't know. You need to ask yourself this. You need to ask yourself questions. Frequency, vibration. Where are you? Where is your mind? Like I said previously in the last message, where is your mind? What is your mind consuming? Because whatever enters the red serpent's mouth, it's going in. It will be too late to turn back. The seed is sown. Next, for the heart of the human collective, I pulled the headless man As you can see, you see the body, you see 2 legs, and oh, it's missing a head. The phrase that came out was headless and out of mind. Out of mind. Out of your mind. I'm hearing the rap song, get out of your mind. Get out of your mind. Out of your mind. Yeah. Can't remember what the rapper, what his name is. He used to wear grills in his teeth. Anyway, that I just heard it, so I'm sharing it. Okay, that's what's coming through. That means complete insanity. Out of your mind. Just let it go. That could be a very good thing right now. As you can see in some portals of information, I'm just going to call it portals. I'm never calling it news ever again. Portals of information. Many people are leaving their jobs. Many people are going back to work. Right? Their heart isn't in it. When the heart is not in the illusion, you have no feeling in the illusion. You can't feed it. The illusion can't feed off of you. You're not feeding the illusion. You can't feed the illusion. Uh-oh, what happens? The veil begins to break. And people begin to know the truth of their own heart. They begin to develop that relationship with the body. What does the body want? What does the heart want? You see? Out of mind. And the other side of this is out of sight, out of mind. But the head in the previous room, something's lopped it off. Something has cut off the head. Something has cut off the mind, meaning control, mind control. The head's no longer on the body. That means we're free to enter our hearts. Free will, free choice. Everyone has it, no matter how dire your situation is. And last but not least, the body, our vessel. Yes, our vessel. I pulled what I like to call my bunny rabbit. Last week or the week prior, I pulled this rune, but it was inverted. It looked like an R. If you invert it again, it looks like what? A bunny ears. Bunny ears their ears are long and they point upwards. Why? So that they can survive. They have to be in tune with their surroundings, with the body, in order for them to prosper. Eyes in front, hunt. Eyes on the side, hide. And some people are going to have to make some moves. You're going to know when to hunt and you got to know when to hide. The phrase that came with this rune reading is increase in sensitivity and accountability for the collective. Increase in sensitivity and accountability for your own energies, for your own gifts and abilities. Tune in. Get down with the get down or get thrown down. All right? The bunny, the rabbit is also prey of the serpent. The serpent will eat that. So be careful, be wary, because we are, as a collective, being preyed on. Preyed, by the way, whether you want to be oblivious to that or not. Again, free will, free choice, free will. You can say, oh no, I'm being taken care of. The illusion is taking care of me. I'm fine. I've taken the venom. I'm good. I don't need to do anything else. Alchemy, what? You see, the relationship between the prey and the predator is an old, sacred, ancient one. That's another message for another space and another time. But who's the hunter? Who's the prey? Right? What is the sacred connection? What is the sacred lesson between the hunter and the prey? Human collective. And that, my friends, is what I pulled for the rune readings for our energy vortex as a collective, for the collective. And finally, last but not least, the sigil. The sigil. The phrase that I heard was identity. And now I'm hearing cranberries. In your head, zombie, zombie, what's in your head? Right? That was from the 1990s for my 80s, 70s, 60s babies out there. And again, you see the head, a sensitive head, and then you see the old head. You see a sensitive head that is now on top, and then you see the old head at the bottom. So either you can choose to enter into the serpent's mouth and be transformed into allowing your higher self to help guide you, or your other old head is going to be lopped off, meaning out of your mind, right? That is what I'm seeing here. I'm hearing talk about the white rabbit. About a couple of weeks ago, I was listening to, what's her name? Remember what the doorman said. Something about the head, right? But I'm hearing that, but that white rabbit, follow the white rabbit into a spiraling hole in the ground. Go ask Alice what the doorman said. I think he said feed your head or free your head. But gain back your sovereignty, because they don't call government for nothing. Government, mental, govern mind, govern the mind. I trust my government. I trust those who govern my mind, who govern my consciousness. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. We must check ourselves, because they're not playing checkers. They're playing chess. Right? It's all a game, a weird game. In conclusion, may this message find you well and whole. It's very interesting reading and interesting vision. The red serpent is quite a lesson for me, an ongoing lesson. I'm learning every day. I'm learning how to tune into the warmer parts of working with fire energy, right? It's not always supposed to be loud, right? Sometimes it's you learn how to simmer that energy, tune into a simmering heat, and that can teach you something. Yeah, but the weather forecast for the human collective, again, it's ambiguous, it's androgynous, it's neutral, depending on the power of your own perception, how you perceive your multidimensional realities. There's several different timelines moving and shifting about. Some people are deep in the illusion, some people are questioning the illusion, some people have broken free of it. I, for one, am always dancing in all three at this current moment, and I know and I pray and hope for, no, I'm going to say this, may I set myself free from the illusions at play within my own consciousness. I thank you for listening and tuning in to the Red Serpent energy. And don't be afraid, don't fear the unknown. Embrace it and enter her mouth. Enter the Red Serpent's mouth. She has much to teach you. She has much to teach. Please be sure to check out, I have a third channel that I am in the middle of putting together. It's called Seeds of Silvertree. And listen, it's more tuned into just free creativity. You know, no doom and gloom, nothing too dark, right? Nothing too fancy, just me being creative and tuning into more of like woodworking and my artwork and sewing, tools that we should have been taught in school for the past 20 years, and they kind of slowly have merged them out of the systems that they've created for us so that they can go ahead with their agendas. But sewing, woodworking, carpentry, those are my other interests outside of my Silvertree music channel and this channel. And that's what I'm going to be tuning into more. So it'll be a kind of a experimental thing, but it's like I can't really say how long and how many of these videos I will make, dear collective. I do know that there will be a point where I will no longer make videos in general because I will be doing what I need to be doing as far as that goes, which I'll dive into another time. But as of right now, I have the space, I have the tools, I have the support, and I have guidance from and with Source to do this and to share this at this time. So I just appreciate you, and remember yourselves, okay? Embrace supreme loving guidance. Expand your consciousness and evolve your human. That is why we're here. Love to you.